What's up, Reno? Shade Tree Surgeon here. In the garage, we have Tom Waits singing about a Gun Street girl on the radio. The sounds of the bug zapper in the night keeping me safe, and Evo FXR on the lift. Life ain't bad, baby. Life ain't bad. As you guys know, we got Old 92, the Krusty Glide Jr. over here, although that's not a great name for it. There's nothing crusty about this bike at all. This bike was given to us by a Knight of the Order of the Utmost Weirdos, because, come on, baby. An FXR that's fully documented, got a built Evo motor. That's a bike that's worth a pretty penny. And he sold it to me for less than you'd pay for a 92 clapped out Sportster, let alone a 1992 FXR in perfect shape. But it does need a couple things, so we're gonna go ahead and knock those out now. Like I said, this is a raffle bike, raffling it off with 100% of all proceeds going directly to charity to benefit Forgotten Angels in their fight to end the cycle of foster care abuse. So I don't want to change this thing up too much because FXRs, just like Sportsters, are a blank slate. You got to make them what you want them to be, but we definitely got to do a couple of things. I've got a nice Saddleman seat courtesy of Odin MFG, who makes all the gloves I wear. We've got some 13-inch shocks, new handlebars because the ones that are on it are bent, and some risers. This thing used to have ape hangers on it. Dude, I can't believe how many people were talking shit when I posted a picture of this thing. I had a guy going, "You need to police your Speedo cable stat." And I said, first off, sir, that is a clutch cable. Second off, like, I posted the first picture of the bike, man, and people are jumping down my throat about the clutch cable. I mean, I'm like, dude, it used to have apes on it. Give me a second, man. We just picked this thing up. Even before Sean got it, it was set up for a very short rider. So we are going to change it back so this thing handles like it's supposed to. Short shocks, they don't do anything for the handling of an FXR. Although I'm not throwing those shocks away. So if you're 5'2" and you win this motorcycle, I will send those 11-inch slammers with the bike, or if you want me to, I'll just throw them back on there. So don't worry, we're not getting rid of those shocks. I'm just setting this thing up like it's supposed to be set up. First things first, let's go ahead and take care of this handlebar situation. And while we're at it, also take care of the fact that these forks are not sitting where they should be in there. These were a little bit loose, I'll say. All right. Loosen up these controls, get those off, and this should be a really easy swap for risers and new handlebars. Best place to keep bolts that you're working on is right where you found them if you can. Wow, I see where somebody has made this from an Allen into, into a flathead. So let's go ahead and get that out. I really don't use a flathead. I see how that's cut in there. Maybe I can get it out like that. We'll see. I very much doubt it though. I'll probably just pound a Torx into it and then replace it. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. All right, let's see if we can pound a Torx into this thing and get it out. Thank you, Shelby. He's the one who taught me this trick. And will it work for this stripped out Allen? Yes, it will. 1-800-ASK-SHELBY, even when I don't have to call him anymore. Shelby, you're the man. And of course, this is why you always have extra nuts and bolts around. Link in the bio. No, I'm not sponsored, but link in the bio to where I get my hardware. Let's go ahead and pull these handlebars off, let the gauges hang, and then we'll finish taking these risers out. And we got some 3-inch pullbacks here. I think splits the difference nicely between, I would put 6-inch pullbacks on it if it was my bike, but I don't know whose bike this is gonna be, and I think 3-inch pullbacks can work for just about anyone. I'd hope if I put it on the correct side, wouldn't it? Putting on new bars, you got your throttle cable here, you don't want to take it apart. What I usually like to do is I'll just slide it on before I even put the bars in, that way I ain't gotta fight getting it around. Here's a question, is this one down here, is that going to be metric or standard, because it's an Allen? The forks are Showa, but the triple clamps are Harley, and it's metric. People always wonder about lowering bikes, I will tell you, you should try to do everything possible to not lower the bike for your height. Everything possible. Cut the seat, narrow the seat, do anything possible to avoid lowering the bike, because that's really bad for the way it handles. Well, if you have to lower it, you have to lower it. It is what it is, but definitely try to avoid it at first. Next up, these 11-inch shocks have got to go, baby. Oh, all you shorties rejoice. One busted finger by a hammer later. I have realized that the shocks that I have, when I tried to change bushings to make them fit in here, that's where the finger came from. Those shocks aren't fitting in there. I thought that Sportster shocks and FXR shocks were interchangeable. They are not, because Sportsters bolt just from the outside and FXR shocks sit in that little channel in there. So for right now, the 11-inch shocks are staying. Well, it's the next day. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. My thumb really hurts. There's nothing that will put you in a bad mood like smashing your thumb with a hammer. The only thing that'll put you in a worse mood after smashing your thumb with a hammer after working on a bike that you're raffling off for charity until all hours of the night is going inside, pulling out your phone and looking at YouTube comments that are telling you like, why is this all a Harley channel? I remember when Shade Tree Surgeon was cool and he used to ride more bikes than just a Harley, and I'm just like, my brother in Christ. Now I did lose my temper on the guy. I really shouldn't have. I ended up talking to him in the comments. Everything's fine. But what I think happens is people get suggested by content by the YouTube algorithm because they obviously didn't see that within the last month we've done a restoration on a Kawasaki KZ1000. We've been working on a Honda Magna. We've been riding every other motorcycle under the sun, and I'm just like, oh, my thumb hurts. I'm angry. We're doing this for charity. We're building this Harley for charity. And by the way, screw you. I'll ride whatever bike I want to ride anyway. Don't tell me what to do with my time. And anyway, things are cool. We talked in the comments. So like I said, there's nothing like that to put you in a bad mood. But there's nothing like a Honda Trail 125 to put you in a good mood. And seeing as the thunder clouds are already rolling in, this might be the only riding I get in today. That's okay though, because there's only a couple things in the world that it's impossible to be mad while it's happening, and that's getting a blowjob and riding a Trail 125. I don't think the former is happening anytime soon, so let's hop on the bike. I don't know, do I even get a pass on this one? Is this really even not Harley content? Because technically, strapped to the Trail 125, I have 2 FXR wheels that I'm taking to the ride factory, get new tires on them. So I don't know, man. You tell me. I might still just be a Harley sim pretending. I'm just pretending to lure in all the non-Harley owners on my Honda Trail 125. Nothing but a Harley simp in Honda clothing right now. Like, come on, give me a freaking break. All right. Let's hit ramming speed, baby. We got a lot of extra weight with these tires, but it'll still do the speed limit if you ask politely. I know it seems like I'm going off about one comment, but I can't tell you how many times I've gotten that comment, and I will tell you it eventually starts to get to you, and not usually. Usually I take it with a grain of salt. I think most people assume I don't read the comments. That's not true. I do. But I will tell you, literally every single time I release any video that has a Harley Davidson in the thumbnail, I don't care what the rest of the content is. The rest of the content could be on this Trail 125 or Goldwing, but if there's a Harley Davidson on the thumbnail, it is guaranteed there'll be somebody in the comments saying, I remember when this channel didn't just used to do only Harley Davidson content, and I subscribed because you used to do everything, including all this other stuff. And I'm like, dude, do you watch the videos? It's not the guy I had the conversation with in the comments, because we came to an understanding, and he understood that, like, hey, the algorithm is just suggesting these videos, so I haven't seen a lot of the other ones. But man, it's just like, really, I don't really take too kindly with people telling me how I should spend my time already, because right now, until this raffle's over, we are spending a lot of our time building raffle bikes to give away for charity. And so, guess what? Some of them are going to be Harley Davidsons. They're not all going to be Hondas, and they're not all going to be Kawasaki's, okay? Some of them are going to be Harleys. It's not only someone telling me what I should be doing with my time or being like, you used to be cool. That's just something that has been a pet peeve of mine forever. When someone is like, I like how you used to be. I'm like, well, I don't know. I think I've been through a lot of personal growth and change, and I'm constantly working on myself. And when you say you really prefer the way I used to be, which I think is an inferior version of the human being I am today, I'm like, wow, so you want me to suck more? You like the way I used used to be. I don't know, man. I'm working on myself and I'm proud of where I am right now. So it just rubs me the wrong way when someone's like, man, do you remember the old Josh, the old Shade Tree? I'm like, wow. Dude, that to me, that is about the most insulting thing I can hear. And I also can't imagine anything more depressing than staying exactly the same forever. And if that's your goal, you need to work on yourself, man. You know, you should constantly be waking up and trying to be a better version of yourself than you were the day before every single day. But beyond that, if you're gonna tell me what I should or shouldn't put in my videos, and you don't even watch all my videos, shut up. That you don't get to say it. If you don't watch all of them and you're gonna say what I should do, you don't get to say that. Come on, that's just ridiculous. It's like tuning in for one episode and it's not exactly what you wanted when you've missed 100 episodes and being like, well, I mean, I think you should do this because this is the one thing that I wanted and it wasn't here when I got on this video because I missed the past 100 videos. Like, no, dude, I don't fucking think so. All right, well, Trail 125 is over. Now I'm gonna be just touching Harley tires and not riding a Honda. So this is technically Harley content again. If you want to close your eyes and put some earplugs in while I bring these tires in, you just go ahead and do that, okay? Here's the other one I get all the time that drives me nuts is, where is FXR? When is Barf Party coming back? I'm working on it. It's expensive and we're spending a lot of money on raffle bikes right now. It's not like I don't want my motorcycle back. Like, of course I want my motorcycle back. Of course I want Barf Party back, but completely rebuilding a motorcycle from the frame up costs a lot of money. I've been gathering parts, we've got all the parts, and trust me, we put a little bit of work into it all the time. It doesn't look like it from out here because this is just the frame, but the engine is in there, the transmission is in there, we've got a Baker 6-speed, we've got a total performance 124 cubic inch engine. It's coming, but you know, the raffle comes first right now. That's what I'm working on. I'm trying to get into the black on Karma right now, and it costs a lot of money. A lot of these raffle bikes we're buying out of our own pocket. Big ups to everyone who's donated, and big ups to my man Sean, who gave us the amazing price that he did on that FXR. You can't ask somebody to donate something like that. He's got money into it, but the price he gave us was like close to giving it away. You know, I'm personally paying for all the parts and all the upgrades and all the tires and everything that goes on them. So it's expensive, and so's this, and it's gonna come. Like, it's not like I'm gonna go like, oh, I'm never gonna have this bike back. Of course I'm gonna have the FXR back, but it's just gonna take some time, you know, and we do work on it, and I do spend money on it, but I spend a lot more money on the raffle bikes right now because that's just what we're doing right now. And I've made whole videos about the FXR. I'm shooting for October. The October camp out is gonna be the reveal of Barf Party. Barf Party in its new form, the Vomit Comet with 124 cubic inch Evo in it. That's gonna be the reveal. That's what we're shooting for, and I'm confident that by October, for the October camp out, I'm gonna be riding that FXR. Much to the chagrin of everybody who hates all the Harley Davidson content. I hate to get frustrated with this, but I'll see the same comment over and over again. I'm like, dude, I've made like 5 videos talking about where the FXR is, why it's not back yet, how I'm working on it, the stuff we're doing to it, picking up parts, getting ready for it, the fact that it's coming back in October, and I'm like, dude, you don't watch my videos. You don't watch them. Because I talk about this all the time. You don't watch my videos, you came here, then you're just like, well, it's not here. You suck now because you don't. I'm like, dude, don't tell me what to do with my videos if you don't watch my videos. If you watch every single video, I'm a lot more likely to take advice, listen to constructive criticism, because you're somebody who watches every video and you can actually talk about the things I do or I don't do. But if you watch like one video a month, enjoy the video. The videos are free. You don't gotta pay nothing for them. It's a free video. You can even turn the ads off. You don't even have to watch an ad. You can watch this video 100% for free. Stop telling me what to do with my time, Chief, all right? We're doing great things for charity, and I feel good about that. And all you guys who are helping me do it on Patreon, because we spend 100% of the Patreon money, and that only accounts for maybe like 30% of the money that we actually spend on these raffle bikes. 100% of the Patreon money gets spent on raffle bikes, so big thanks to you guys. We're all doing amazing things, and I feel good about it. And trust me, all the stuff that I want, like my FXR and all this other stuff and all my other projects, we'll get to that eventually. But right now, we're bad people doing good things. All right, rant over. Oh, I shouldn't let this stuff get me that worked up. And now I'm even like starting to feel guilty. Like that's what it's like. It's like I sat there and I ranted. I'm just like, yeah, don't tell me what to do. And now I'm on my little Faggio here rolling down the street, and I'm just like feeling guilty now, because it's not like I don't appreciate the people who only tune into one video a month. Like, of course I appreciate you. I appreciate anybody who watches my content. And now I'm like, man, am I really like sitting here like talking crap about, you know, gatekeeping, like how many shade tree surgeon videos you have to watch. Like, I don't want to do that. That's freaking ridiculous. And I also feel bad because I had a good conversation with the guy who made the original comment. I didn't hear back from the second commenter, who was much more rude, but you know, I had a good conversation with him. So if he's watching this video, I'm like, oh, I don't want you to think that, like, for him to feel bad that he ruined my day. Like, that's why I don't like being angry, because it's just, anger is it doesn't feel good. I'm like tired afterwards, and then I feel guilty because I expressed my anger. So now I'm tired, I feel guilty, and my anger didn't accomplish anything besides me yelling about stuff. I just need to spend more time on the Trail 125, because once I'm back on this bike, it's really, really hard to be angry. The anger just completely dissipates. Yeah, there we go. It's gone. Life is good again. We're on a small bore Honda, just rolling down the street. Like, how is this thing even street legal? Just makes me feel good, man. I dare you to be angry on a 125cc Honda. Physical impossibility. 8.5 screaming horsepower. It'll cure what ails you. Whoa, buddy, take it easy. Just trying to exist over here. Maybe that's why I don't get road rage. People they comment on that. They're like, man, you're on a motorcycle, you never get mad at cars. You always just kind of make a joke about it. It's because I'm not actually mad. I find it very, very difficult to be angry on a motorcycle. Almost impossible. So you gotta really, really do something special for me to actually get mad while I'm on two wheels. And when I can count, like, almost killing me in a vehicle as not, like, enough for me to get angry while I'm on two wheels, like, it's up there, okay? It's up there. Heading to the Stab and Grab for a little juice. Not for the Trail 125. This gets 100 miles a gallon, and it's just fine. This is some human bean juice.
I just want to know what it said. I don't, you know, anything. I was getting ready to put my card in there.
It's just a cold. It's a cold.
I heard her, dude. She's out there being like, they're trying to get my info. Never a dull moment at the Stab and Grab. All right, got my white Monsties, an important part of every balanced breakfast. I know, I am a fully grown man. I should drink coffee like a fully grown man, but I'm sorry, dude. I do not do that. I intake my caffeine the same way a 16-year-old skater named Kyle does, okay? Look at frickin' taking a couple chances merging in front of that truck there, aren't you, Josh? He's back there shaking his head going, take it easy on your 125, pulling out in front of an F-350 with a 30-foot trailer behind it. Sorry to all you Honda fans, you're once again going to have to avert your eyes and plug your ears to the sounds of an evil Harley Davidson as we hop on the Dirtster. It was only minutes ago I was riding a Trail 125, a nice Honda, a nice metric bike. Shade Tree Surgeon has changed in the last few minutes. He really changed. Oop, my Harley hasn't changed though. Come on now. I was about to be riding the Honda anyway. Woo. I still got a little bit of a break in the rain, so unfortunately the ride factor didn't have the tires I needed, so I'm rolling across the bridge to Burt's Barracuda to get tires for the FXR. As much fun as I was having riding my little Honda around, it's kind of hard to be mad on this bike too, and the Honda ain't exactly set up for interstate speeds. Although Shaylisi certainly can get it up to 65 miles an hour, I definitely cannot. And if you know anything about Florida, you know that we are out of our riding season right now. We either get rain or it's 100 degrees. Now that don't stop me from riding, man. I'll dodge the raindrops. You gotta play hide and seek with these storm cells this time of year if you want to ride your motorcycle. Sometimes you roll the dice and you're just gonna get wet anyway. And right now, I'm gonna roll the dice because it rained all day yesterday and I didn't get any riding in at all. A man can only take so much of not being able to ride all day because it's raining before you just go out and you take the chance anyway. Although, speaking of highway speeds, The high winds of a rainstorm coming in, trucks, and being on the bridge, and the Sportster ain't exactly very happy with anything above 70 miles an hour. I can feel this whole thing shaking, and that's really just because I've raised the rear end so much, the 15-inch shocks, that this wasn't really noticeable when I had the Burleys on there because they weren't set up for my weight, so they had so much sag that they weren't really 15-inch shocks once I got on the bike. These race techs, they're set up for my weight, and they have the proper sag set into them, so yeah, this thing is pretty unstable right now. I really need to get that Speed Merchant triple tree on this thing, but let's bend over and smile for that one, boys. They're awful proud of it, for good reason, It's a great looking piece, but that triple tree does is when you're going like 70, 80, 90 miles an hour, you don't get that loosey-goosey, I'm rolling down the highway on frozen marbles feeling that the stock triple tree gives you. And of course, that really doesn't become a problem until you raise the rear end as high as I have. It's like I got some crusty cruise control right there. Gonna have to loop these throttle cables up. Cruise control when you least expect it from a stuck open throttle. Not what we'd call ideal. All right, let's see what old Bert's has going on for us today. Well, I mean, I know what they got going on. A set of tires, but let's see what else they got going on. Well, I did just come up to Bert's Barracuda for just tires, but let me tell you what, it's never just tires. I've been riding around this 1250, and my man, Uncle Bogator over here goes, well, you're riding around that 1250, well, you gotta ride an XR. I'm excited to ride this this hopped up Harley back to back with my travesty, my crimes against nature. My bike is fast, it handles good, but it's ugly as sin. You can't have all three, you gotta pick two.
This thing is super fast. If you ever get a chance to ride on an XR 1200, do it, because it'll knock your socks. It ain't like riding a regular old Sportster. This thing is beefed up to perfection.
They're no joke. It's peak Sportster. This is the best Sportsters ever got right here. That's for damn sure. All right, well, let's see what they look like back to back. It's just a Sportster. This one definitely ain't just a Sportster. If there's any Sportster that I like better than the Dirtster, it's the XR 1200, man. This is a hell of a motorcycle. Proprietary rear swing arm, obviously the rear section. The motor's got those heads on it and kind of make it look like the XR 750. Proprietary front end with the upside down forks. Dual disc brakes in the front. They did have a specialized intake underneath this gas tank, but this guy's put the race spirits on here. So I don't know if that's going to make it any faster. The XR that I rode before was completely stock, but we'll see. Just, already I can feel it, man. There's just no getting around fuel injection. Now, I don't know if it's that much faster really than the Dirtster. The Dirtster does have 50 cc's on it and pretty aggressive cams, but the way it accelerates is just so much smoother with this fuel injection as opposed to the Dirtster's CV carburetor. Now, I am working with Electron to get Electron for the 1250 kit that I have on there that's set up specifically for it, but I don't have one yet. Now, once I get that Electron on there, I think things will be quite a bit different. I don't know, man. I think it'd be a close thing. I think the XR 1200 would take the Dirtster, though. Say it ain't so. Yeah, maybe I could just grab this motor. I don't need the whole bike, man. I just need the motor. You know, that 7,000 RPM red line, that ain't helping the Dirtster's case either. Now, I know now that I have that hooligan kit in it, I know I can raise the red line, but I still have a stock ignition in my Sportster. I think an aftermarket ignition and a raised red line is definitely in order for the Dirtster. And that's gonna make a big old difference, because right now, I'm still redlining to whatever a stock Sportster red line is, and it ain't 7,000 RPM, I'll tell you that. Oh. That is a good sounding bike, baby. I'm gonna have to do a little more massaging on old dirty bastard to get it up to this level, but you know what? Riding this thing around, it just steals my nerve. It just makes me know that I have to make my Dirtster as fast as... I probably will never make it as good because it's not fuel injected, but maybe I can get kind of close to fuel injection with Electron, because those Electrons are freaking slick, man. The way the metering rod works and those things, it does put it on the same level as fuel injection instead of a carburetor. And of course, there's a lot of guys that will tell you that that they think the Electron works better than fuel injection, but it's just all a matter of tuning at that point. An improperly tuned fuel injection system obviously is going to suck, and if you don't know how to tune it, well, then you're up shit creek without a paddle. I wonder if I could get one of these gauge sets with a digital speedometer and the tachometer right here. I would love this gauge set. It is a Sportster gauge set. This setup for the Dirtster, that would be freaking awesome. All right, let me get off this thing before I really ruin it. This is an awesome bike. I hope if you end up buying it, make sure you post it on Instagram so I can keep up with its adventures or misadventures, because trust me, this sucker will get you in trouble. Back to ODB. Although, very, very tempting. There actually was a dude on an XR 1200 on the very first Sportster summer we did who took it off-road. So they're certainly capable of doing it. Yep, that ain't going nowhere. Oh, one day this will be as fast as the XR. And I think it's gonna be the day I put Electron back on it. Hey, not paying attention to the forecast. Today, it's rewarding me. That doesn't always happen. Look at this, man. I've already ridden 3 different motorcycles today and I haven't gotten rained on yet. Weatherman said it was gonna rain all day. Ha, ha, I cry in the face of the weatherman. Oh, I'm not home yet, but if there's anything I do love, it's spitting in the face of fate. It makes such a tempting target. They say you shouldn't tempt fate, but I'll tell you what, every time fate walks into the room, I just want to put on some strappy lingerie, dance around under the moonlight in my underwear, pour a glass of Cavassier, and whisper sweet nothings in its ear. I love tempting fate. Now, if you're tempting fate and it's not working out for you, I'll just tell you this. It's because you don't do that one thing, that one little thing that fate really likes, okay? When it comes to that gorgeous lady fate, if you want to get flirty, daddy, you better be ready to get your knees dirty. Back to Ybor City, baby. Back to Ybor without a single drop of rain on me. Getting away with it once again. The gods love an idiot, and recklessness is a quality much beloved of the moon. I'll never learn my lesson because learning's for nerds. And listen up, baby. I'll tell fate whatever she needs to hear. I'll make her every single promise in the book. Anything to tempt fate and get her to lay down one more time. We'll do that one little thing that fate likes, but let me tell you what, once fate falls asleep, we sneaking out, baby. We're stopping in the kitchen on the way out, eating all Lil Aiden's fruit snacks, stealing a $20 bill out of fate's purse, and then hitting the road on the scooter, baby. Woo! And we live to tempt fate once more. Because like I said, the gods love an idiot. You know, all this stuff aside, it is really kind of a bummer that I don't have an FXR to ride right now. This one's up on the lift. It's up on the lift for a good cause. We need to get it ready for whoever's bike it's going to be. So, like, boo-hoo, I don't get to ride it right now. And plus, like, I guess I could have spent all this time and energy on Barf Party, but I still feel good about the way we did it. Also, I'm like, dang. It was really nice to ride around an FXR, if only for a little while again. It's a bike I really miss. Bike I just really enjoy riding. It's probably by far my favorite Harley Davidson ever made. And it just is it's just a real shame that, you know, I had one and now it's on the lift and it still hasn't rained today, and now I just don't have an FXR to ride. It was this close. I had one right in my fingertips and I decided to put tires on it instead of riding it around. Ah, c'est la vie. What can you do? What the weatherman was talking about. Looking at blue skies up here, baby. We got time for one more rip before the live stream. I wish I was out taking a rip on the FXR that's in the garage, but oh well, man. Motorcycle's a motorcycle, dude. I ain't gonna ever cry about being on 2 wheels. Baby, the way the weather's looking right now, I feel like I wasn't even tempting fate at all. Unless they're luring me into a false sense of security. Oh well, false sense of security is better than no security at all, am I right? Wait, not too much security. There's some ominous stuff on the horizon over there. But what's riding motorcycles without a little bit of danger, am I right, boys? This is exactly the kind of thing that people would say, well, I wouldn't feel bad for you if you just got absolutely soaked because of the rain, because, you know, you went out with the threat of rain, so you better be prepared to deal with the consequences. Like, listen, Chief, I wouldn't feel bad for me either. I just want to ride my bike. Anytime old Mother Nature decides to engage in a little bit of water sports on your head and completely drenches you, hey baby, it's worth the risk. You're still out riding bikes, ain't you? We'll take it. 2 times the stab and grab in one video. I don't know what the record is. It's definitely more than 2 though. Doesn't risk just add that umami to the meal? It adds that little bit of flavor to everything. I know y'all are out there. I know you're bikers. You guys out there has got to put hot sauce on every single meal. Yeah, myself included, okay? And just a little bit of risk, a little bit of risk taking, that just makes everything a little bit better. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna get a cookie, let's say I want a cookie, I don't want to just eat the cookie when I'm allowed to. I want to sneak that cookie at 3 o'clock in the morning when nobody's looking. If every poor girl out there who's ever tried to build fences around me just could have figured out one simple thing, that you just got to make sure that I think I'm getting away with something, if y'all could have figured that out, hell baby, I might not have had to grow wings and fly away. I feel like that adding a little bit of risk and it making the meal that much better, that's just like an analogies for motorcycles in general. All I'm doing is traveling. I'm out here running some errands, just going to the post office, but I'm doing it on a motorcycle, and that just makes it fun. Just a little bit of risk, baby. That's all we want. Just a little bit of danger. And if that danger and adversity is manufactured, so be it, baby. It still tastes good. I read somewhere that's what hot sauce is. That's why human beings like it, because there's really no reason we should like spicy food, right? Didn't most of these plants evolve into being spicy so we wouldn't eat them? That one backfired, didn't it? But apparently once you learn how to like spicy food, just like adrenaline, your body craves it all the time. So it doesn't naturally want it, but since there's this who's the bigger monkey contest between human beings about who can be old Billy Badass, now that one applies to just about everything, motorcycles included. With that contest going on, we pretty much always have hot food in front of us at some point in our lives. And that hot sauce, when you eat it, it sends off some alarm bells in your body. Your body thinks it's in danger, doesn't know what's going on, and you learn to like that. And now all of a sudden, you gotta have hot sauce on every meal just to feel alive. If only knowing that it was just a stupid monkey trick, if only knowing that fact made you able to overcome it, but that ain't how the body works. If only knowing that the urge to do sketchy things on even sketchier motorcycles was just your body craving that little drip that makes it feel good that you could probably get somewhere else. If only knowing that actually made a difference. Well, it doesn't. So yeah, you might just be having eggs and grits for breakfast, but a little dash of hot sauce, baby, a little dash of hot sauce makes you feel like you're doing something dangerous. And I might be just dropping off some Brapstar orders. Baby, I'm doing it on a big chrome loud motorcycle, and that makes it fun. Harleys and parking garages. Baby, it's like peas and carrots. Some things were just meant to be together. Oh, look, they saved me my spot. Talk about perfect timing. My man Joe the Jedi just called me and said the FXR tires are ready. Finally, time to ride a real motorcycle. We get the FXR off the lift. God, I can barely contain myself. Gotta hurry home on a dangerous machine so I can jump on a different dangerous machine. You know what? I have very little to complain about. And I might have been complaining earlier in this video, complaining about the comment section and it getting under my skin, but I will tell you 99.999% of every single person in the comment section is absolutely freaking awesome. And as always, I've said this before, you gotta focus on the positive, because the positive, it so far outweighs the negative that it's not even funny. And that really goes for most things, not just the YouTube comment section. All right, I'm changing to something a little more breezy, as in I'm wearing shorts. The only place I wear shorts is at the beach and in the garage. In the garage during summertime anyway. Let's get some fresh rubber on this FXR. You know, I think my life's gonna be easier if I take these brake calipers off. Let's do that. I'm actually doing something to make my life easier instead of harder. Oh my God, shade tree surgeon has changed. We want the old shade tree back. Ugh, doesn't do anything to make his life easier. Yes, much easier. Very unlike me, I know. Boys, I gotta tell you, it sure is good to finally be able to ride an FXR again. Oh yeah, that's not a sound I'd get tired of. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. You'll notice we have no speedometer right now because the speedometer cable that was on this was not set up for having any kind of risers, and it didn't quite reach with even just 3-inch risers on it, but I got a new one on the way. I'll tell you, some risers on this thing. This Odin seat, man, this bike just feels so much better. Even with the 11-inch shock still on it, just having these triple trees up front in the correct position makes such a difference in the way the bike handles. Now with some 13-inch shocks on it, it'll be even that much better. But I'm telling you, just that little bit did wonders for it. Oh yeah. I mean, you know, the new tires on there, they help a lot too. I like that. Yeah, the new tires help a lot. Moving the triple trees where they're supposed to be helps a lot. I mean, this bike was not designed to be low to the ground. Although, I'm telling you, it still handles like a freaking charm, that's for sure. You can hear we're dragging parts there. Yeah, you get too low with those 11-inch shocks, you're gonna be dragging that pipe on the ground. Thing is a straight line demon though. Put some 13s on this thing and you'll be dipping low in the corners in no time. Always sad to give up these bikes that we're fixing up for Forgotten Angels. It always tugs at my heartstrings giving these things away, but not that bad because what they're doing, what they're going to do, the people that they're helping, the lives that they're changing, that is what really matters, man. And I know a lot of you guys are entering this raffle. You guys are blowing me away with your support for Forgotten Angels. And yeah, one of you guys might win an awesome 1992 FXR. A good deed is usually its own reward. And when you're buying a raffle ticket, it's not like the only thing you're thinking about is winning. You're thinking about all those lives you're changing. You're thinking about how together with these bikes and on this channel that we're changing the world. That's what most people are thinking about. And then in the back of your head, you're like, that'd be pretty cool to win the bike too. It'd be pretty cool really cool to win the grand prize, $250,000. That'd be amazing. But what we're really doing is we're changing the world and we're doing it together and we're doing it with motorcycles. Which makes it even more fun because we get to change the world on big, loud, shiny, sketchy motorcycles. I like that. That's the kind of change I can get behind, baby. Me and Shay Lisi are fixing these bikes up out of our own pocket, out of money we make on Brapstar, out of money we make on YouTube videos, out of everybody's donations on Patreon. We're all doing this together, and all you guys out there who bought a raffle ticket for 25 bucks, that's how we're changing the world. And if you don't have $25, that's okay. The reason that me and Shay Lisi are able to fix up these bikes and pay for all this stuff is because we have the extra money to do it. If I couldn't afford to do this, I wouldn't. And yeah, sometimes it makes things a little tight. Sometimes it hurts a little to do it because I'd rather spend that money on my FXR or something that I want. But I'm not taking away from anything I need to do this. I'm only taking away from my wants. That's what sacrifice is. And if you only have $25 extra to spend and that's it, you shouldn't spend it on a raffle ticket. If you don't have enough money to buy a raffle ticket, I don't want you to. There are other ways you can help. You can share this video. You can tell somebody about it. You can tell somebody about Forgotten Angels. You can tell them what we're doing. You can show them the raffle. You can tell them what Forgotten Angels' mission is. We're fighting to end the cycle of foster care abuse, but how we're fighting to move out of this state, how we're trying to bring a Forgotten Angels to a town near you, how we want to be all across the United States. You can tell them about that. And that's free. That don't cost a dime, man. If you just tell one single person about this, you've done more than almost everybody ever involved in a lot of these young men's life has ever done for them. And if you don't think it makes a difference, you're wrong. It makes a huge difference. Even just telling somebody about it makes a difference, baby. Send them the video, man. Well, I mean, don't send it to them if they're gonna hate me. If you don't think they'd cotton to my loudmouth Florida man activities, you know, maybe don't send them the videos. Maybe just tell them about Forgotten Angels, okay? But you know, if they're assholes like us, if they're scum like we are, if they'd fit right in Shade Tree Army, like invite them on along, man. Let's do this together. I love it. Oh, I think we're running dangerously into the territory of this video is way too long. But hey, man, everyone's always telling me they want me to make them longer. But y'all to not tempt me with that because I'll be making them every single one an hour long. Well, there is one more thing before we go. One more thing that a few people might have a couple questions about. And come on, baby, you didn't think I was going to leave you hanging on that one, did you? As you guys know, when you go to the raffle, you'll see a raffle for a house or $250,000. That's because that's the grand prize. prize, and we've just been picking tickets from every 2-week period for the bikes that we're giving away. But for this FXR, we're going for a whole month. And the reason we're doing this one for a month isn't because this FXR is so special. It's for a completely different reason. Yeah, we're doing this one for a whole month because we're doing this one big, baby. This one's going for a month because we're giving away 2 FXRs. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you tune into the next episode for a little more info on Jungle Love, the Shovelhead FXR. Until next time, y'all, keep it weird.
Crashing through the sky comes a fearful cry. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Armies of the night, evil taking flight. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Panic spreading far and wide. Can the world oppose the deadliest of foes? Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Who will risk it all to end the evil call of Shade Tree, army. Shade Tree, army. They never give up, they never say die, walking tall with banners high. Shade Tree Army, a ruthless gang of scum, villains, freaks, and bikers determined to rule the world.